My name is Kuhu. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm very excited to introduce a program to you today from One Future Collective. One Future Collective, of course, is a feminist social purpose organization with a vision of a world built on social justice led by communities of care. Like I said, my name is Kuhu and I lead the People Power vertical at One Future Collective. And I'm so excited to talk about our brand new social justice lawyering program today.
Thanks, Kuhu. It's really lovely to be here and to be talking about this program. I think it's been a real labor of love at One Future Collective, and we're really excited to be able to share this with the world and get people to sign up. Very excited to be speaking more about it, sharing more information, and who it's for.
Thank you, Tanshi. Would you like to quickly introduce yourself and maybe even talk about this exciting new cohort-based leadership program on social justice lawyering? Why do you think a program like this is even needed?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm the lead for Just Institutions at One Future Collective, and a big mission of the Just Institutions vertical to further the overall mission of One Future Collective is to ensure that we are working towards holding institutions responsible to do their part in furthering social justice. So in furtherance of that, we do a bunch of these cohort-based leadership programs, and this one is called Social Justice Lawyering. And I think the need for this program really stemmed from our own experience of being an organization that has worked with mobilization, that has worked on social change initiatives and community organizing towards achieving social justice goals over the last 6 years. I think the first reason why I think a program like this is needed is because even though there is so much phenomenal work happening in the sector towards social justice and social change, a lot of the time cross-sectoral alliances are not being made, and that is a real missed opportunity. I think activists are working in their siloed organizations. There are people who are social workers and community mobilizers who are doing phenomenal work in their communities, and then of course we have the human rights lawyers, for example, who are fighting for human rights within courtrooms, etc. I think there is a real opportunity here for the different actors within the social justice movement to really come together. And I hope that this is a program that really pushes the participants to think what are the different strategies that we can use towards furthering our social justice goals, right? One is, of course, community organizing, community mobilizing, furthering policy advocacy, engaging in consultations with policymakers, but also what is the role of law in the entire system? How does law become a tool of social change? Which brings me to the second reason why we think a course like this can be really important is because often when people hear the word lawyering, I think there is a very standard image that people get, right? It's people in black and white clothes, people who are standing before judges, people who are arguing cases. And while that is a subset of lawyering, that's just what it is. It's just a subset. Lawyering is a lot more than just appearing in courts, which is to say that it's not also limited to people who can go to courts, right? That is more litigation, where only lawyers are able to go and argue and present their points of view in a courtroom. But lawyering is a lot more. It's a lot broader, and it's more about how can we use law and understand the influence of law and legal structures on social change movements within the country. It's about building civic awareness about what is the existing legal frameworks, how can one access the laws and policies that are being made by the government, understanding what legal pathways exist, and also exploring is litigation or even courtroom lawyering a solution for advocacy that you should be looking at if your goals are X, Y, and Z. So it's really a strategy for social change rather than just relegating it to litigating, which can give the impression that it's for a very niche audience. So I think that's why a course like this can be extremely useful. Our work with social justice advocates in the past, through the fellowship, through our previous leadership programs, have also demonstrated that there is a very strong understanding of the need for social justice. But there is also still scope for us to understand what are the different strategies we can use towards furthering social justice goals. And I think this is just one of those strategies that change makers can really use in their strategic planning for their work.
Absolutely. And I think as someone who's been involved in some of these leadership trainings, or as someone who has really seen folks wanting to use these tools towards social change, I think litigation sometimes is what we get confused with and what we get
Yeah.
intimidated by. But lawyering as a tactic or as a tool for social action is something that is extremely useful for all folks to know. And I think the way that we're kind of structuring the program is to make it more accessible and really tell people what legal pathways exist, how it can be used towards social change goals, for movements, how we can negotiate with different
Yeah.
actors for achieving common goals, and more. So can you tell us a little bit more about what's in store with the program? What do we have planned?
I'll start off with the logistics of these things. I think they're often very, very useful. The program is going to take place on weekends so that more and more professionals are able to sign up for it. Students are able to sign up for it because I understand that life happens over the course of the weekdays as well. It is an intermediate level program, so some level of base understanding of social justice activism, advocacy, human rights work is definitely something that is very welcome. We start the program on the 10th of February, it ends on the 2nd. We have about 28 hours of live learning. So, 4 hours each day of the weekend, 8 hours per weekend, we have live learning sessions. And we have about 12 hours of asynchronous work that participants will have to put in to complete their assignments, do their own research, meet with other participants outside of the live learning sessions, etc. We have a bunch of learning sessions which will happen on the weekends where we will do participatory learning and facilitation on specific topics and modules that you can already access on our No More document about the course. But we also have panel discussions with industry leaders who've been doing this sort of work for a long time. The panel will have activists, it will have lawyers, it will have community organizers, mobilizers, and civil society workers who will all come together to share what their lessons are from the work that they have been doing, so that the participants are also able to understand the real life implication of the learnings that we're having within the course. The course has about 4 to 8 modules or sub modules, so to say, which Kuhu has already spoken about, but we're really going to start off from the basics of understanding what does lawyering mean and how has that influenced social justice movements. From there, we're really going to start unpacking lawyering as an advocacy tactic. So what are the different parts of it? How do you understand if lawyering is a tactic you want in your social justice movement? What do you expect for it to add? What do you expect for it to take away from the movement? We're also going to be talking about how you can build strong alliances with cross-sectoral workers and actors so that you're able to collectively further the goals that you're working towards. And finally, as is true with most of the social justice work, a key thing that we want to be focusing on is ensuring and weaving in sustainability into our work. So how can we resource it? How can we ensure that welfare and care for the people who are engaged in the process is maintained and centered? And how do we continue building off of the gains we have made through the way? Because these things and a lot of the recent judgments have been sort of an example of what I'm about to say, is these movements can have dips and wins, right? So it'll be a way for us to learn from how do we pick up ourselves and the movement from the dips and the losses, and work towards the wins, and how do we make the most of the wins as and when we achieve them. So that's a very quick overview of the program. I do want to add that there is no like I've said earlier, there is no limitation in terms of the number or the kinds of backgrounds that people should have to be able to join the program. Therefore, the program is open to everyone within the sector and people who are interested in the sector. It includes activists, lawyers, social workers, community organizers, mobilizers, students studying any of these streams of work. Honestly, what we're looking for is someone who's really interested in doing this kind of work, and we'd love to have you be a part of it.
Something I am a little bit curious about is, apart from the live learning that you've mentioned, interaction with the cohort in these sessions, the practice assignments, as well as the panel of experts and of real life folks who are engaged in this work, what are some key things that the participants get out of this apart from all of that?
I think a couple of things, Kuhu, that we've been able to really use as offerings to our participants to enhance their experience. I think the first thing is for us to be able to really build a network with other participants, right? Like I've said, it's going to be people from the sector, people who are interested in the sector, and and I think the course itself will serve as a strong space for peer learning and peer networking, and also, of course, networking with industry leaders through the panel discussions and the facilitation that we're going to be doing with facilitators from the team and also our advisors. I think the second is to develop our own capacity to really critically think about the role of law in social change and to integrate law and lawyering within social change movements. Finally, I think it's also important for us, and there are more detailed outcomes, of course, in the document, and this is just a quick overview. I think the final key thing that participants can really take back from this is an understanding of the need to really break those silos between different actors in the social justice movement and give them an opportunity to actively try and understand what does building a strong alliance look like. So these are some of the overall outcomes, but of course, all the participants who complete the program successfully get a certificate of completion. All the sessions will be recorded, which means they will be available for viewing even after the program has concluded, and they will be shared with the participants along with all the activities and will be accessible by them for a month after the program has concluded. We'll also be developing a community of practice for all of the alumni of the program so that they can continue their learning journey and continue building a strong relationship with their peers for a long time, even after the program itself has completed.
All of this sounds super exciting, and I'm sure now we're curious about how you can apply for a program like this. Of course, all links are available on our social media and should be available in the bio of this video as well. But you can sign up for the program by visiting bit.ly/sjl_cblp_register. And you can know more about the program by visiting bit.ly/sjl_cblp_know more. About a little bit about the pricing or the logistics of the program. The phase 1 pricing is about to close very soon, where the course is being offered at 12,500 INR, and accessibility is very, very important to us, so we are open to multiple EMI plans, subsidies, and scholarship requests coming in as well. Just please feel free to write to us, and Utanshi, maybe you can let us know how people can contact us if they'd like to get in touch.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Kuhu, for taking us through the pricing. I just want to double down on the point about the pricing. Don't let the phase 1 prices turn you away. If you are interested in the program, it's important that we have you there. Feel free to reach out to us with any questions you may have about the program, the curriculum, or even how to explore some of these pricing options at info@onefuturecollective.org. And somebody from the team will definitely get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. A quick note also, we're doing a quick open office hours tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., 25th of January, 6:30 p.m. IST, Indian time. So if you have any questions, if you have any clarifications, or if you'd just like to know more and meet some of your facilitators, that's the space you want to be at. We will be sharing more details about how you can sign up for it and the link to it, so you can just hop on as and when you can.
Absolutely. And we hope to see a lot of you at the open office hours, but of course, we hope to see a lot of you at the course as well.